Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Should be a quick one. So hang out for some video clips and we'll get right into it.
Hi, it's John Romita Jr. at San Diego Comic-Con. Fantastic Comics in Berkeley is the best shop in the world, hands down.
What's your prediction for the fight then?
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain.
That's that T-C.
Look, this is just an informal chat. We were wondering what you were working on in your lab.
Well, I've invented a pill that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
Right, and what's positive about that?
Well, it's a pill that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
Well, could it also give worms to ex-boyfriends?
This is a drug for the world to give worms to ex-girlfriends.
Well, great. Thanks for stopping by.
You just don't get it here.
Superintendent, I hope you're ready for mouth-watering hamburgers.
I thought we were having steamed clams.
No, I said steamed hams. That's what I call hamburgers.
You call hamburgers steamed hams?
Yes, it's a regional dialect.
What region?
Upstate New York?
Really? Well, I'm from Utica, and I've never heard anyone use the phrase steamed hams.
Oh, not in Utica. No, it's an Albany expression.
I see.
I'm busier than a high-priced whore at an electronics convention. Right now, I'm in Valdosta, Georgia, for the annual folk festival in Jelly-Off. I'm supposed to be judging art, etc. Who are you? What do you want about? Come on.
Well, I'm Old Swerdlow, and this is the Ozark Mountain tradition, the song Storian.
I'll decide what it's called, old. Just make with the art.
Well, alrighty. Let's get Limberlegs on up there. Oh, Limberlegs went walking down to old Miller's Creek, and when he saw that big old cow, he jumped back in the sink. Oh, Limberlegs, where you going?
All right, now stop that, old, stop it. I'm very sorry you had to see this, folks. Now, Mr. Limberlegs ain't wearing no clothes. I find myself to be aroused and titillated by all this.
Well, Senator, this is a tradition as old as a Georgia sunset.
Shut up, old. David, you see what I have to contend with? I got a naked puppet doing a lewd, lascivious fandango on the lap of a full-grown man. I got women over here dipping candles. Fella over there, he's got a butter churner. It's like a pioneer pawn shop in here. Close it down, boys. Close them down.
Senator, you're getting a little right. No, well, that's my Limberleg.
Deandra, you got any bacon bits? We like to put them in Artemis's hair, and they rain down on me when we bang.
I feel like a Cobb salad. It's amazing.
Andy Warhol and John Waters, in conjunction with Saliva Productions, present Jim Barrie's beloved children's classic, Peter Pan.
I think I see him. No, that's just a cloud. No, it's not. It's Peter.
I'm flying. Look at me way up high, suddenly here am I'm flying.
Yes, it's Divine, starring as the boy who wouldn't grow up.
I won't grow up.
I won't grow up.
I don't want to go to school.
I don't want to go to school.
Just to learn to be a parrot.
Just to learn to be a parrot.
And recite a silly rule.
And recite a silly rule.
John, the kind of control you're attempting is it's not possible. Listen, if there's one thing the history of evolution has taught us, it's that life will not be contained. Life breaks free, it expands to new territories, and it crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously, but, well, there it is. There it is.
You're implying that a group composed entirely of female animals will breed?
No, I'm simply saying that life, finds a way.
Is that Henrietta Pussycat? The Henrietta Pussycat from the neighborhood of make-believe?
The same. Thank you, P. I use her as a shower mitt. Does that bother you, Queasby?
Exactly, Lidge! That's a priceless artifact and part of our collective childhood, you monster!
Why can't you get it? Well, I got banned from the store. I can't go back in there now. What happened? Well, we had a fight over the peach, and, well, Joe doesn't want my business.
Hey, is that a joke about Houdini?
No. I told you not to say anything. Jerry, what am I going to do for fruit? Well, you'll have to go to the supermarket. The supermarket? It's impossible. They don't have a decent piece of fruit at the supermarket. The apples are mealy, the oranges are dry. I don't know what's going on with the papayas.
What do these coca leaves do to you?
Well, if you chew them for a while, you get a feeling of euphoria, increased energy, strength, and stamina. It's also rumored to heighten your sexual desires. And it makes you see beauty in the most repulsive things.
Did anyone ever tell you that you have the most adorable ear?
All right, come out or I'll blast you out.
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch!
We're going to start our volleys. We hope you like the show. Everything is ready. We're raring to go. We'll give you all the latest songs and dances full of pep. We're gonna start with high chops. Just watch this chorus steps.
Originally settled as Ocean View during the 1850s, the city's population boomed with displaced
But in my own way, I am king.
Hail to the king, baby.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us at Fantastic Comics Presents. For those of you that are new here,
my name is Yule Carter, comic book retailer in Berkeley, California.
That's right. And I actually don't need headphones on right now. I own Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California. Have since 2011. We're open Wednesday through Sunday to 12 to 5 p.m. If I close a little early, I'll leave a sign outside. Usually they're later. Thank you everybody for joining us once again. Man, what a week. I had to take off because I was working on some computer stuff, and I'm a dunce when it comes to that kind of thing. So I really wanted to get my taxes done this time around, and I had to make some phone calls and get some stuff together. But with the help of Eugene and so many other people, Todd mostly, it looks like I got everything in. All right. First time I hadn't had to have an extension in forever. Forever, I tell you. It's been it's not like I need it for money, you know, like I didn't have the money to pay it necessarily. I mean, you never want to pay what you have to pay, right? At least to some degree. You know, it rankles a little when there's a pothole out front, you know, or when all of a sudden water starts collecting in the bottom when it never has before in the basement. You know, that type of stuff. But you know, hey, we got roads. We got roads to pay and stuff like that. I think the federal stuff gets a little crazier, a little questionable. I mean, I can understand that. At least you have a little bit more of a voice with the people right in front of you. Nonetheless, I think it is our duty to do it. So I've done it, and on time, and now I don't have to a whole year basically. I'm not going to have to deal with it. I'm super, super happy about it. To those of you that still have to and are trying to get it in for tomorrow, I wish you all the luck in the world. I remember one time my uncle and he waits till like the last minute, and we would go to the post office. This is a long, long time ago. And at the post office, there was a shit ton of people that were like turning stuff in, long lines of things. You know, I don't remember. It was just like, and then of course a lot of people that were like protesting the idea of having to pay taxes and stuff like that. It was wonderful. Gotta love that. Yeah. So we're a business. We're open 5 days a week, a little bit more than 5 hours a day. I'm there definitely longer than that, but you know, you got to get ready for new books, and you got to pull for customers, and you got to brush yourself off when you fall into a plant and stuff like that. So we're going to be talking to y'all in just a few moments. We're going to talk about Marvel. I was searching for a topic, and I kind of had something I wanted to talk about, actually, about comic books. There will be something that we're going to be talking about for New Comic Book Day. Comic books that I kind of have a hole in my reading that kind of I feel bad about. You know, these are books that I should know. But there's one that's coming out right now that's perfectly themed for a lot of what we're going to be talking about. Good ideas? Any new ideas? Everybody says they want new ideas. Do we really? How many sequels do we watch? I mean, we're being fed tripe, but I think a lot of times people enjoy it. Also, just recently, I guess like a little bit ago, Disney announced that they're going to be laying off a bunch of people, including some people at Marvel. I don't think it's going to be any names or, you know, anybody that we're going to know, but they're laying off. Go figure. I imagine Marvel really, or Disney really is like, we really want to take that money and apply it to AI. That's what my guess is. They might not say it in any article or any report, but that's my idea. That's my thought. You know, we're working on fixing it up so we don't ever need to pay for someone to be in something ever again. or produce it. It'll be great. Everybody will just, it's the tripe the studio's given us, so might as well eat it. Or stream it, or whatever you want to do with it. Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about, and new comic books that are coming out. But I'll do a couple of these right now. I got the pictures up and everything. The first one is, all right. There you go. We got, it was announced. This is from CBR. So the last time we got together, I was taking everything from Perch in one of his videos. And now everything's from CBR today. And I'm going to be reading from this while I show you this picture. We've got Marvel. This is a new comic book that's coming out. And it's going to have like the Fantastic Four in it. It's written by Jed MacKay, everybody's favorite. And it's going to have some art. Federico Vincentini, whoever that is. And there's going to be a little storyline that's going on. I guess the Beast is involved, and he does some shenanigans or whatever. And yeah, that's the deal. The Beast is doing some shenanigans, and the Fantastic Four are going to be involved, and it's going to be a neat little cover that they're going to have with Kari Andrews on it. I love it. Love that stuff. And I'm actually enjoying the Jed MacKay X-Men anyway. You might hear a lot of people that aren't into it, or maybe they feel that the I can't even remember what From the Ashes X-Men titles are kind of lame. And I can understand that, or maybe just you're tired of it, and although there's quality, it's just not quality that you're into. Some things that have been said at my store. But I just read the recent issues, or the first two issues of the Danger Room story that's going on in Jed MacKay's X-Men, and I think that's a good book. It looks great, and I think this one will be pretty cool too if you're reading the books, and if you're a fan of Fantastic Four. It'd be nice to see someone that isn't Ryan North writing it, maybe. Hints of things to come. Who knows? Here's a hint. There's going to be a blind bag. Can you go figure? So if you're interested in the blind bag and all the other variants that are going to be inside it, potentially damaged, who knows? Just let me know that you want them, and I'll make sure to order them. I hope so. This is coming out in September. So the Beast is responsible for this virus that's going out there, and the X-Men and the Fantastic Four have to fight against each other. And how exciting. Let's see, what else do we have? I gotta get the picture up. We've got, oh yeah, here we go. Armageddon. That's the big event that's going to be happening with Marvel. Chip Zdarsky is going to be writing this miniseries, and right now, Captain America, Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon, I think it's called. That's a miniseries that Chip Zdarsky is also writing. It's leading up to this big Marvel event that everybody that reads a Marvel book is probably going to want to read. There will be one-shots and miniseries and all sorts of special things to get to go along with it. CBR says that they might face a huge problem with this, and it might not be exactly what you might think. Like, oh, nobody's going to care. That might be the other thing also. But this is more about a cross-promotion. And Magic the Gathering is going to have a promotional card in every book. So not only is there going to be a blind bag. Oh, no, that was the other book. All of the books are going to come in, and they're going to be bagged. And they're going to contain the Magic the Gathering card. Let me get that pick up for you, because Ryan Stegman, that's pretty cool looking. Oh, yes. You know how I love enchantments that cost 6, everybody. 1 red and 5. Woof. That's expensive. But I guess on like the 6th round, you're probably getting out really expensive creatures anyway. So that might do some good. But these are just going to be in all the books, or are they? It seems that they might not have enough cards to deal with all the, with all the retailer. They won't have any. The warning is the retailers, there might not be enough copies to fulfill the orders. Copies of this crappy card. But it does have Ryan Stegman's art on it. So, it does look good. I wonder if that will be really the case. Because, firstly, does anybody really care? Seriously? In my store, there might be like 5 or 6 people. And maybe 10. They like Ryan Stegman a lot. They got to have this card. The problem is it might actually get someone excited or clue them in the fact that there is a Spider-Man and soon to be Marvel Magic the Gathering cards that are kind of coming out. So not having them would be definitely not cool. But we'll see how they do when it comes to that. All right, let's say hi to each and every one of you the good way.
We didn't come to borrow any money. We didn't come to borrow any dough. We didn't come to borrow any trouble. We just stopped in to say hello. Oh, hello to you, Mr. Manny. Please don't think that we are hammy. We just stopped in from Alabama. We just stopped in to say hello. Oh boy, you said it. We just stopped in to say hello. And don't forget it. We just stopped in to say hello. And I'm hello. Hello. Goodbye.
Hello, everybody. Glad you can make it. Glad any of you that go into the store, whether it's mine or someone else's, we really appreciate it. Just saw a video from Eric from Games in Berkeley, which is a long-running game store. Well, I've been here since '99, and they've been around. Had been around for a while since then. And they announced that they've got a bit of a problem going on. And it's a shame. It's a crying shame. So if you like games, you should go into Games in Berkeley. Help them out, or just get some good stuff. I was hoping to go through them so I could get my Marvel cards, so I don't have to deal with another distributor. Still will try and see if it will help out also. But man, that's a crying shame. I remember going and getting 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons books with me and my pals late at night. It was a midnight release type thing, and we went and got them. Hate 4th edition. Got them anyway. First up, Roxanne Foster. First, you were. Look at that bear. It's cool. Very, very trippy. Elithalor. Based on Solitz, Marvel is out of ideas. So a lot of what we talk about recently is how Marvel is doing all these miniseries and restarting series and having another mini-series where the other issue would have gone. Case in point. And usually the best one to watch is any of the Steve Orlando Scarlet Witch books. It was Scarlet Witch, and then it was Scarlet, and then it was something else, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and then it was Scarlet Witch and the Vision, and now she's Sorcerer Supreme, and all the while Steve Orlando has been writing this book. And you know, chances are, if it was, you know, this is probably about 30 issues that have been going on, you know, 5-issue miniseries, 10-issue series, 5-issue to back it up, you know, so let's say about 30 issues. And we are charting this character's course and all the different things that's going on with her and everything. And these are definite chapter breaks that would, you know, start over with a new first word, you know, just like in a book. But we as comic consumers, you know, we kind of like the longevity of the book. Something most of us still haven't been able to get out of. And I think I'm one of them. I can argue the reasons why those other things happen and why we should not care. But this is this is an industry that evokes emotion from the people, passion and emotion from the people that are in it and care about it. And sometimes it's irrational, and you know, it doesn't matter because it matters. Irrationality matters in this situation, and the comic book companies just don't seem to understand this. I was going to be back issuing comic books, and I can't just put an Avengers number 13 right where the Silver Age 13 is, or right where the Heroes Reborn 13 is, or all of that other stuff. It has to be in its right place. And, you know, you have to hunt out what volumes these things are sometimes, because you can't find it in the comic book. They put this crummy legacy numbering. And damn, some of these are on their 7th volumes. Like Aquaman is on its 9th volume, I think it was. Maybe it was 7th volume. And then I looked at another book, and it was on its 7th volume, and I don't count the adjective that comes in front of the book. So, you know, that, or I do count that. That's the volume there. So if it's X-Men, you know, it's on its 7th volume. I mean, that's amazing. It went from 1963, almost got canceled in the 70s, but kept going until I became a store, and then soon thereafter it had its last issue, and then they relaunched it again. So that means volumes, depending on how you look at it, let's say 3 to 7 have happened since I've been in operation since 2011. That's crazy. It's crazy. And yeah, it's just Marvel out about it. I mean, they put out stuff, you know, they do things. It just depends on, you know, they're just existing. They're continuing. They're churning out the stuff, you know. They're making a lot of money, but they're putting out a lot of books. It's kind of like how they talk about baseball teams, how much money they put out compared to how many wins they get. And, you know, you might spend a lot of money, but if you get a lot of wins, that's good. But if you spend a lot of money and you don't get any wins, well, you might as well be a bad team that doesn't spend any money and sometimes does better than they're supposed to. Fantinium, yo, out of ideas. Here's an idea. We need more variant covers. Yes, there is a hint of sarcasm in there, just a hint. I don't know about variant covers. The title for the show was really more aimed towards this conversation, because haven't we done this before? Not near mint. I'm always looking forward to having so much fun I vomit. In the other room, Jill B. Pill. Hello. No, that did not say MILF NCBD. How's your father? Good evening. Good evening to you. Also, Fantinium says, I got my taxes done last month, and my refund already came in for both California and federal. Good job. I always remember the Roseanne taxes episode. There was a taxes episode for Roseanne. I only really remember all the DC paraphernalia and, of course, the Halloween episodes. Yeah, I have an account too, Fantinium, but you know, I got to do all the other stuff in the store to count it all up. You guys are all talking about All right, I gotta read this one. For sitcoms, I remember the Family Matters taxes episode. Carl Winslow being a stubborn cheapskate dad, not wanting to use an accountant. LOL. I filed mine last minute, but no refunds for me. I don't think there's gonna be a refund for me, but we're gonna start working on that. Captain America is on volume 12. Yeah, that's crazy. Is that so? So it went all the way until it became a Rob Liefeld book, right? So that was volume 2. And then it started over in volume 3. And then, man, that's a lot of volumes. But they were already jumping the gun a lot. They did the 9/11 one with John Cassaday on art. Yeah, they've done a lot. They've done a lot of Captain America. All right, let's talk about one more Marvel book that's coming out. We've got What If? Oh, Jesus. Going into who's out of ideas. 50 years later, Marvel's What If reinvents Spider-Man, Jessica Jones, and more. And I don't really like to read a lot of reviews for you guys like this, or I mean articles for you like this, but I gotta go through them with you. Okay, so these are gonna be a series of one shots. All right. Intriguing. Jesus, there's going to be a trio of one shots, intriguing alternate realities that each have something to do with Spider-Man. Jeez. Alex Packnadal, who's doing the Cyclops series, and artist Cafu. That's cool. They receive a new ending that secures the survival of the Ultimate Universe. Okay, great. The ordeal is mostly seen through the eyes of Peter Parker, who, to quote the official log line, is forced to survive in a not-so-friendly neighborhood after losing everything. My goodness. Okay. Spider-Man is not a central character in What If Jessica Jones. Jesus. Wait. Really? Seriously? Jessica Jones. J.M. DeMatteis, oh my, and Yildiray Cinar do What If Spider-Man, and they're going to go back to the Craven, Craven's Last Hunt, where he takes his own life. Craven does. So who knows? Maybe it'll be Spider-Man this time. Jerry Dugan and Jan Bazaldua are doing, this is interesting. They're going back in time to examine Cyclops and Madeline Pryor if they would have stayed married. Jesus. Then they're going to do this Thor, and what if he got possessed by Venom, or the symbiote before it became Venom? What if Captain America, Mark Guggenheim, he's a good writer. I like him. Ron Lim on art. Oof. What if he had not been unearthed from his frozen slumber until the year 2099? Why not just make that a mini series? I mean, that's the beauty of Captain America. He can go and fight Hitler and Nazis, and him and Bucky can either die, or Bucky can die, quote unquote, or Captain America is going to, get frozen and then thawed out much later, Buck Rogers style. Him waking up in 2099, that's an obvious story to have done. Does this even need a what if? We're going to get a Runaways by Rainbow Rowell, and ask what would happen if the teenagers had ever left their apartment. That's a joke. What if they didn't abandon their supervillain parents? And then we're going to get this What If X-Men, Professor X suffering a deadly fate at the hands of his own twin sister, Cassandra Nova. Ay. And then there's going to be more. There's just going to be a ton more coming up. And they've already done, I mean, going back to Marvel not having any new ideas, they've already just recently, like a year or so ago, had a ton of what if one shots, and they did what if Venom, and what if somebody else was a Herald of Galactus. I talked about this with you guys. I'm sure I said something, or at least I believe I said something witty about it. And go back and find that before I get rid of it. Jeez Louise. I'm all right with the mini-series events and, the Fantastic Four and X-Men. It's been done before, but it's about time you do it. The What If, I've never been a fan of What If. And, this kind of goes into the conversation of who's out of ideas. Who really wants new things anyway? There's plenty of good companies that are making comic books, but more often than not, people buy Marvel, people buy DC, people buy Transformers, or something like that. I haven't seen this before, but I have seen it before. It's just absolute Batman, or it's a different take on something that I've liked in the past. What If, Elseworlds? There's going to be Elseworlds coming out. There's nothing new under the sun. DC announced that their Dark Knights of Steel was a success, and they're going to do it again. And on and on and on. And on and on and on. But you don't understand. This is a new version of the Riddler in a totally different universe where anything can happen except killing off your main character. All right. Let's talk about some new comic books that are coming out tomorrow. I know I got this video. I'm just looking for it. Do I have it? Oh, I might not have it. Okay, here it is.
What's going on right here? It's a big night.
Well, it's just an old run-of-the-mill Wednesday. The calendar's full of them.
That's right. 4/15/26. Get your taxes in. Come into the store. Tell me how it went. And I hope the post office isn't too busy for you. You're just dropping off mail. It should be no problem, right? Let's talk about some new comic books that are coming out. It's kind of a mild week. I'm still have plenty of books to show you, but it's not like a bunch of cigarette books this week behind me. But there are still some things to know about, some things to be excited about, and hopefully some of these books will become cigarette books in the future. Last week, Iron Man #4 came out. Another excellent issue of Iron Man. Really, really liked it a lot. Also, Firestorm #1 came out. Jeff Lemire writing that one. Really good, solid start, especially if you don't know the character that well. I think it's really good. Let me put that up one more time. And I'm going to just get a couple more picks in while I am talking to you. Just got to go to the download part and do this. Also, some books that I've been reading. I finished 48 and 49 of World's Finest, a book I don't normally read, and those are really good. And 50 came out last week, and Dan Moore is coming back to art on that for at least that issue. So that's a reason to check it out, 50th issue. But we're talking about comics this week. And first up, oh, look at that. Battle Beast #8. So I screwed up and I didn't get the main cover. I actually think the second cover is really nice. I think it's Ryan Sook that does it. So if you're not a cover whore, or I mean, actually, if you're a cover whore, you'll be okay with it. But if you want the main one, I should be getting it in. Just put your name down for it and we'll get you hooked up. Battle Beast, written by Robert Kirkman, of course. It's an Invincible Universe character. We've got a lot of people coming in recently talking about Invincible with me. They're really digging the show, and they've been starting to buy the books again. So Robert Kirkman, wow, he just keeps chugging along. New Titans #34. Probably the last time I'll mention this on this, this episode, this program. I mean, nobody seems to give a shit anymore now that it doesn't have a DCKO tie-in. And I thought the first issue, 33, was pretty good. I thought this issue was pretty good. It introduces us to the villain of the first issue. And our original New Titans characters are meeting up with the New Titans characters. And there's all a reason why for it. It was a good issue. I liked it a lot. But I imagine most people just are not, they just don't have enough time to care about this book or pay the money for it. That's my guess. So don't expect to see it on my shelf too much unless I need a reading copy for myself. Lobo number 2. This is the book, everybody. I read this already. First issue was really good, and I waited to read it, and I checked it out this morning. I thought it was really good. Jorge Corona on art, Scotty Young writing it. It was funny. It's mostly visual gags and violence, misplaced anger, but it's funny. And Lobo, it's commentary. It's got some commentary. It has a lot of conversation about Disney and corporations and people buying stuff and people owning stuff and wanting you really bad, but maybe you can just tweak this a little bit. But that's what this issue was. The first 2 issues were. I don't think it's going to keep going on this way, but maybe they can. Maybe it will just always be holding that magnifying glass up to scrutinize something in our lives, and definitely within comic books. Don't let this be the hole in your comic book reading history. I think it's good. I think it feels like it wants to be a bit of a Howard the Duck, those kinds of things. Maybe an American Flag, but with Lobo, at least for these 2 issues. What I really felt was, since there was so much alien life and such overstimulating visuals, it reminded me a lot of Transmetropolitan, but better. Lobo number 1 and 2 are in my store, and I recommend them. I thought it was really good, and I'm looking forward to the 3rd issue. Great art. Wonder Woman number 32. This is Tom King and Daniel Sampere. This female character has a variant that I think some people might like. Just warning you, I might not have it soon. Batwoman number 2 comes in. This is written by Greg Rucka with art by Danny. I've got a lot of people telling me that they liked it a lot. I still have yet to read it. I didn't get to read this one. Obviously, Lobo I just read, and I didn't read Deathstroke yet. Spoilers, Deathstroke's coming out this week also. But I have faith in Greg Rucka without even reading the book. It's already doing really good numbers, and I like Danny's art quite a bit. It's got that kind of Toth, kind of Frank Miller kind of feel to it, and other people. Oh, look, Deathstroke, everybody. Deathstroke the Terminator number 2. He shoots people. He takes on missions of mercy. I don't even know what he does anymore. Is he evil? Is he an anti-hero? A lot of that in Lobo also. G.I. Joe number 21. All right, this is a big issue. So this is an entire silent issue paying homage to the 21st issue, the greatest single comic book ever created by any company, by any people, and any writer, artist, any team, any comic book ever. This is the greatest comic book ever made. We all know it to be true. You just got to accept it, and if you don't know, you'll figure it out when you pick up this Energon Universe G.I. Joe number 21, and this is again paying homage to that book. And why wouldn't you? It's the greatest comic ever, and you only get 21st issue. Yeah, I think that all those other comic book companies like IDW and God, who else had it? IDW, DD, I forget what they were called. Devil's Due, that's right. And I don't think any time on their 21st issues did they do silent issues. It's crazy. who's out of ideas? There's also I thought I brought up a picture of that. Hold on a second. Did I have a 7.2? I did. It's right here. So there's also a G.I. Joe Silent Missions. This is the Cobra version of a silent issue where they have one shot featuring different characters. Last year, there were all the Joes having their silent issues, like Beachhead and Roadblock and other people. This one obviously is Zartan. I like also how it looks like one of the file cards that you would on the back of the toy and stuff like that. Good stuff. These are Pat Olive. He's the artist. Tom DeFalco writing, but how much writing are you doing on a silent issue? Same thing with you, Joshua Williamson. But we know Tom Riley's doing all the heavy lifting here. All right. Next up, we have Superman Unlimited, number 12. There's this whole Reign of Superboy storyline going on right now. There's one in Supergirl. There's one in Action. Obviously, Superman is Superboy Prime. And here it looks like John Kent is back to being John Kent. Got Crypto on the cover, too. Written by Dan Slott, I do believe. Who knows who the artist is? X-Men United number 2, that is Eve Ewing, and I don't know who the artist is. It's got Captain America in it. They get together in this hive mind thing that they got going on, and this is like a new school where all the kids and people and all the teachers can get together in Emma Frost and others' minds. I don't know what the deal is. I read the first issue, but glancingly. Catwoman number 86. This is the second issue of the new Catwoman that's going on. She's back in Gotham, I think it is. Magic and Colossus number 3. The 5-issue miniseries continues. Herman Peralta on art. Very good stuff. And someone told me Ashley Allen's a good writer. Red Coat number 17. You say you want something new? Plenty of new companies out there making comics that you just... I mean, I sell it fine. But Here Ghost Machine ain't doing so great. So that, you're going to like forget you're going to forget G.I. Joe reading Red Coat. You know what I mean? Marvel's Red Band Alias by Sam Humphries and Geraldo Borges. The first issue I liked quite a bit. My customer Peggy allowed me to read her open copy because it comes in a red band, because there's so much cursing in adult situations that we can't let our kids see it. Let's see one of your comments. But yeah, the first issue was really, really good. Everything I don't like about the Alias character, being married to Luke Cage, having a kid, that was all answered in this one. It was like she's leaving it all, at least to some degree. I thought it was really good. I like the argument that they were having with each other, and it felt real, and it felt like a really good. I mean, it put me into the situation, and I thought it was a really good story. So looking forward to the second issue. I'm already sold out of the first issue twice. Inglorious X-Force number 4. Tim Seeley, maybe my favorite thing I've read of his ever. Inglorious X-Force is doing pretty good. You got Cable getting these guys together because Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, is going to be the future mutant human president, uniting the people. Except one of the people that he's put together are going to kill her in the far future. Who's it going to be? And why is Domino following and not doing anything? And as far as Domino is concerned, she made an appearance at the end of the last issue. So what's going to happen? And who is the traitor amongst the bunch? As Cable's going around trying to figure out everything. Good stuff. Stahl, if I'm saying it, Maria is the artist normally, but this one's got Philip Tan. So A good fill-in artist. My goodness, Philip Tan on Inglorious X-Force. Storm number 3. This continues from the prior series, and this is a 5-issue, probably to end the whole kit and caboodle. That'd be my guess. End of Life number 3 is a Vertigo book. I'm not sure if it's an ongoing or what, but Steve Pugh, I think, is the artist on it, and I do usually like his stuff. I just don't really care much for action books that much. Action, non-superhero books. Dan Abnett writes Imperial Guardians. I do believe this is, again, another miniseries that has spawned off of Imperial, the Jonathan Hickman miniseries. I have the trades in stock. What's this one? Scorched, number 50. I already told you about the 50th issues, and I definitely order more of this than I normally do. Scorched is a strong seller amongst my Spawn contingency, but it doesn't usually get a whole lot of people outside to buy it. Maybe a McFarlane cover will do it. Maybe a 50th issue will do it. Or maybe I'll just off-rack it, put it at more money than it's worth later on, and then receive that money. Because those Spawn people, when they miss their stuff, they got to get it. The Hab, number 1. This is from Bad Idea. I couldn't really tell you too much about it, but it's from Bad Idea, so there's probably some quality behind it. I do know that there's quality behind it because Joshua Dysart is the writer. And also, I think it's David Lapham that's the illustrator. So that's a good combo right there. A good writer and an artist that I really like. Yeah, pencil me in. I'm down with the Hab. The Hab. You down with the Hab? Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four number 3. I know. It's a mini series. And it's what are you gonna do? It's got the Crimson Ghost or whatever he's called in the Planet of the Apes and the Fantastic Four. It makes a lot of sense if you think about it. All right, we've got a one-shot from Thundercats. It's called Mumra the Ever Living. I do believe Mumra is the main villain in most Thundercats history. So to get a one-shot of him, I'm assuming it's like Mumra Year 1 or something like that. There's also a Thundercats Silverhawks miniseries that's going on right now. If you ever thought, wow, I really wonder what would happen if the Thundercats and the Silverhawks ever needed to get together, well, this is definitely the thing for you. All right. That's that. Okay, here we go. Night City number 3. Oh my goodness, this is a Matt Kent comic drawn by Dave Lapham. It's the end of the miniseries. It's 3 issues. Matt Kent often does a 3-issue miniseries, and I've already read it. It was fantastic. Great ending. Whoever told me in the store that Matt Kent has a little problem finishing stories, not on this one. And it was a great series. It's like I want more. Like, it was really powerful stuff. I dug it quite a bit, and I think you will too. So come on and get this. Night City. Starfleet Academy number 1. I'm sure this is destined to, stick around for a minute, but I can't remember on the solicits if it's an ongoing or not. Having said that, it is a mini because of the Lost Contact on it. But there's a lot of Star Trek books that are coming out right now. They're doing pretty well in my store, and people are kind of digging them. And not every person is reading all of the Star Trek books. Although I have some people that read all the Star Trek books. And I thought I had a 23. Let me just see. All right, we're on the home stretch, everybody. Home stretch. We got one more book like this. We've got Tigress Island #2. First issue was a sellout. I expect this one to be too. There's some nudity in it, and I really do like the art by a person named EPHK Epic. You tell me in chat. We've got some facsimiles coming out. Who's out of ideas? We've got Hate #1 by Peter Bagg, or if I don't know how to say it, I call it Peter Baggy. Either way, this is a very, very funny issue, and I highly recommend it. I recommend the Hate books that collect all of the Hate issues that Peter Bagg did. He writes and draws them, and definitely my type of comic book. It is black and white. It's humor. It's satire. It's down and dirty. Down and dirty. That's what it is. Look at this Buddy Bradley. He's an All-American. Chevy Tough. It's great. Silver Surfer #2. The #1 issue did really well for me, and they're going to be doing a few of these. So come on in and get them. The next facsimile, we've got A World's Finest. They've been starting. I had one of my pals came in and said, "Oh, they're starting to do the Super Dickory covers, are they?" And I kind of was like, I was in a mood. I knew I could be in a mood with him, and I said, "Well, they're kind of just doing key comic books, first appearances and stuff that people remember and think are cool." So yeah, they've finally got around to doing the Super Dickory covers. And in A World's Finest with Super Dickory, you got Batman being an asshole too. Speaking of Superman, we've got the Man of Steel #1. I remember when this came out. Holy cow. It was the biggest thing that could have ever happened. Finally, Superman was going to be cool. John Byrne was coming over to take over the character. He was going to write it. He was going to draw it. He was going to take over the whole thing. And some people, it was some of the best Superman ever. This miniseries started it off, and then the Superman series continued, and it continued for a while, and then it had a relaunch. And then the cigarette comics. These are the ones that are behind the counter, so you can't get your grubby mitts on them until I hand it to you after you pay me money. First up, not typically a cigarette comic book, Venom, but it's part of the Death Spiral series, which has been doing really good for me. Holy cow, they've been killing off characters left and right. Oh my goodness, Aunt May. What? What about Aunt May? Find out inside Venom number 257 or Death Spiral Part 8. It's right behind the counter. What else is behind the counter? Ultimate Wolverine number 16. I do believe this might be the last issue. It's got Chris Condon on writing and Alessandro Cappuccio on art. Pretty good. It's a success story. It moved from out in the store to behind the counter. So this was one of the books that took over. And then lastly, for cigarette books this week, we've got the book that took over everything. Absolute Batman number 19. I do believe this is the first appearance of, maybe it's the Scarecrow. I think it's definitely Robin. And I saw the cover for the 20th issue. It's awesome. Awesome. Oh, yeah, and I think the Batmobile is named or something in this thing. So for those of you that are into Absolute Batman, that is coming out. Whew. My goodness, for such a mild week, that was a lot of things to talk about. Battle Buddy, does AI stand for all in or artificial intelligence? Huh. Well, it could. It could stand for both, I guess. Elithidlore. Dan Slott doesn't have to beg for sales of his DC book. Are you sure? Are you sure? I ordered pretty solidly on a first issue for a secondary, tertiary Spider-Man book. So we'll see how that one does. I was so hyped for Inglorious X-Force until the Miss Marvel swerve. Well, I mean, it's the reason for them to get together, but I do like the fact that she is continually forcing them to not kill people, and Boom Boom and others are constantly bitching about it, and I think it's pretty funny. Also, we're getting to see Ms. Marvel's new powers, so it's not all the lame powers. And, hey, you got to believe Kamala Khan is going to be around forever. If there's ever another group to follow the people of today, I guess it's going to have to be her. So hopefully Cable will put a little bit more stink, put a little bit of hope in her. You know what I mean? Hope. Now that was the cool character, if you ask me. But of course, white. Starfleet Academy wasn't as bad as those people would have you believe for a Kurtzman project, Road Comic says. I do understand about those people. They're usually the ones that seem to like complain about a lot of stuff. I remember when I actually, believe it or not, I was watching Nerdrotic at one time, but he was only really bitching about Game of Thrones. And I think there's no objectivity to it at all. It was a pretty shit show. And it was a shit show of a shit show. And this guy was bringing up all sorts of very on the money, on the nose points as far as it was concerned. And yeah, but after that died down, it was so much of all the other stuff. And I like making fun of comic books. I like talking shit about the industry and stuff like that, but it's not because I don't like it. And I know you can be harsh about something and like it, but you don't also have to try to continuously tear it down. And I think that pretty much is how it is for people that want to hate on Star Trek all the time. But, I also watch Red Letter Media, and those guys don't seem to be able to handle that stuff at all. But again, they're super Star Trek fans. And when I was talking about numbering earlier, and sometimes irrationality has to win out. You can't do this horrible thing that you kind of continue to keep doing. It's amazing how Slott comes out and mentions how Marvel works, and the usual suspects frame it as him begging. What a world. I didn't really see what he did or said, but I heard that people were saying that he was begging. And I think it goes back to what Joe Casey said at my store when he was signing, and all the miniseries that we're seeing today, especially at Marvel. And now that there's news about Disney laying off, it's going to be this kind of thing even more. The first issue has to let you know that it's going to be a hit enough so that you can get a sixth issue, or another storyline, a second story arc. And we have to look at successes like Spider-Man Wolverine that went 10 whole issues as, oh my goodness, that's the industry standard today. Because as far as I'm concerned, Weapon X-Men was a really good side X-Men comic book. But it couldn't, even with art that I thought was really great. Who was doing it? I can't remember right now. It wasn't Steve Scroce, was it? No, he was just doing covers. It was Chris Cross. It was doing the art, I think. And it couldn't sell enough to assure that it was going to have a second story arc, even though these issues were set up to potentially have more stories. But as far as a 5-issue series is concerned, it was really, really good. But what are you going to do? And now they're planning for these 5-issue stories almost immediately. But it's no different than Netflix. they needed, within the first 24 hours, the Sandman needed to be a hit. And there's only one I know about, but I think it happens more often than not with most of the other things. The Sandman needed to be a hit enough for them to guarantee that they were going to have a second season. And the thing is that for whatever reason, there was some lag in people watching it first day. And so it was really up in the air whether or not they were going to do another season. And I don't think these are the ways to I mean, we're talking television here, right? Episodic television. Comic books in that way are like television. They're episodic. And you have to be able to, if Seinfeld on the first episode, if it never got to the point where they had their masturbation episode, that never would have been the juggernaut that it became. And that was like in its third year or something, second or third, third and a half year, or something like that. And it would have never been. If you canceled X-Men when they were doing reprints to keep it going, then Giant Size in 94 and on would have never happened, and we would not have had the juggernaut that we had. I don't know what I'm getting at. Sometimes you have to commit, Maybe don't commit as hard as a cross-gen universe. Maybe don't commit as hard as Ghost Machine's doing. Having too many titles can scare a lot of people away, especially when they're gearing up to buy DNX or whatever that was called. Slot didn't say anything that Peter David didn't previously, mentioning that a book needs to sell monthly to get a trade. This is a time it was about the 10-issue series. Yeah, exactly. Comics need to sell. Comics need to sell so you can get the trade. Comics need to sell the trade so that the book keeps continuing on. And it's no different than it ever has been, other than the fact that, again, it has to be done so far in advance before the first issue even comes out for them to say this is going to be a success. We can't keep, if Alex Ross is on a comic book, this is another thing I heard. If Alex Ross is on a comic book, it's making enough to warrant him being on the comic book. If he is off the comic, you can start numbering its days, probably. So not a one-issue Alex Ross 25th issue cover, but if he's doing Fantastic Four all the way through and then he stops doing it, or if he stops doing, right now he's doing Mortal Thor, if he was to stop doing it before the series ended, you'd be like, man, the series is probably on its way out. And that's kind of how it's going right now. So you got some key things. You're like, if it doesn't sell well enough, it's not going to be a continuing story. And if Alex Ross is on the book in any capacity, and then he's not on the book, that's at least at Marvel. DC is holding on. DC always seemed to be the company that would be like, we'll fall out of bed and have 24 or 36 issues. 2 years, 3 years, no problem. Blue Beetle, I wear this faded, it's not faded, it was produced that way, stressed. A Blue Beetle, the Ted Cord, I forget who the artist was, Chuck Patton, one of those guys. And everybody's like, oh yeah, awesome shirt, blah, 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 blah. Blue Beetle wasn't a good seller. Very few people really liked Blue Beetle. And it went 2 years. Booster Gold, man, it went at least 2 years. You know what I mean? I mean, Arion, the witch guy, or whatever his name was. DC, man, they will hang on to their books quite often. But then but that was then. These days they still do it, but they'll do the Marvel route too. Usually on a Joe Casey book. Neil Before Zod was awesome, but it was supposed to be 12 issues and it was 8 at the end. It was supposed to be ongoing. It went to 12 issues and then it ended at 8. What if Neil Before Zod continued? Read Joe Casey's Substack. I do believe it's still free. All right. Let me do this. That's right. It's almost the end of the show. So I want to thank all my patrons. Holy cow. I was looking at it and I'm embarrassed. Expect something. More regularly too. I promise. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna something. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. And if you don't respond to anything I say, then I know I don't have to. But you guys are awesome, especially now that it's tax time. I have a feeling I might need to dip into something that there is in there. So thank you to everybody. You are seeing Unlike This Guy.
You know, my last name is Costanza. That's Italian. So you and I are kind of like countrymen. Huh? Paisanos. $6.50 your change. Ah, yes. And I always take care of my paisanos. So here's a little something.
Antonio!
Sì!
Vieni qua! Questa miserabile pattone!
My goodness. Thank you so much. All my patrons. Thanks to all my customers, obviously. Everybody, man. Oh, after this tax thing's taken care of, this is going to be a good year. We got Superman Day coming up on Saturday. We got May 2nd, Free Comic Book Day. I'm going to be blowing out graphic novels like crazy that day. It's going to be the store's, what did we say it was? It was going to be the 15th anniversary of the store. Holy cow. We're not doing anything store-wise, just doing free comics and a big graphic novel sale. And definitely I should have some video of some of the books that we're going to be having out there. Hopefully. It's a very sunny day. Being a slave to the weather, you know what I mean? It's almost as bad as being a slave to the man. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you next week. And until then.
Lucy and Ramona cruising through the jungles of L.A. Hoping to promote a dream somewhere along the way. They're rolling through the streets, looking for a disco, passing up the treats from a kid named Cisco, trying to make connections with their blemish-free complexions, and just as fate would have it, ended up with Sunset Sam. Sam was selling watches from a suitcase on a TV tray. And Lucy and Ramona were trying to figure out if he was gay. The three of them were standing, staring at each other, when the light behind their eyes blew each other's cover. The ancient code was branded, and each of them was handed a ticket to their kingdom, 'cause they saw their brother Sunset Sam. Sunset Sam. Lucy was from Compton, and she met Ramona at the zoo. Ramona was from Brooklyn. She left when she she was 22. Sam was a native of the Arizona desert, but he split when he was slated for some governmental make-work. Their differences subsided when the common bond was sighted. They were all from the same place that made the famous Sunset Sam.